User stories are a great way to capture requirements, and crafting better user stories with generative AI is an amazing way to leverage a technology that is very powerful when pointed in the right direction to take vague ideas and turn them into actionable requirements. So I've spent about half my life as a BA and the other half as a developer, and good requirements are really key. This goes for technical projects, non-technical projects. Um, Really trying to take something that is potentially vague or is a transcript from a meeting or is your general verbal description of something and turn it into a really clear set of insights where you can see where you've perhaps not thought about something enough or you need to think about something further or engage another party. And to convey all of that to someone else who's going to go and build something for you that's potentially not cheap is really key. And there's a little example here, a bit of a nerdy one, but a simple request for something like a universal header, the little thing you see at the top of a website, that can lead to endless questions and missed requirements quite easily. So what does it look like? You want to make sure that's described via a design, but also a bit verbally in the acceptance criteria. What options it should have, how does it change for different users, if it's meant to change on mobile versus desktop. That's the kind of stuff that makes for great requirements. And this doesn't have to be a technical task. This could be a task in engineering. This could be a task, at a mechanics workshop. This could be really anything where you're trying to describe something you want to achieve and you need a way to make sure it's really clear what it is that you want to get out of it. And yeah, for me, the solution absolutely, and I use this on a daily basis, is to supercharge your stories with AI. It is an amazing co-pilot helping you to draft and make sure that everything is in the same format, consistent, easy for people to work with. It's comprehensive. It lays it out in a format that's well known, that given when then format, really well known for covering all the bases. And yeah, the key is a well-structured prompt, which I have here and you can try. So to give you a little look at what this is, you can take this prompt and go and use it yourselves, adapt it to your needs. If you take it and throw it over into something like Gemini here, and you can save this as a gem, you can save it as a custom GPT, whatever you prefer, so you've got it there and don't have to copy and paste it in at the start of any session, but we can't do that. Now, once this kicks in, we can then go ahead and describe what our requirement is. So we could say something like, we want to write a story that is about adding an additional menu up the top left that allows a user to navigate to all the major sections of our application. It should change depending on the level of license that they have. And it should also change depending on whether it should change order based on the priority of the user, depending on what it is that they access most. So what you can see there is I've just verbally given some requirements, pretty loose, nice and quick. Once we've given that, it's using the prompt that we've started off with that you can review by copying the one that I'll share on the website in the comments. We'll give that a moment. See the thinking that it's methodically going through, defining user story elements, crafting that user story, doing everything that it needs to. Gives us a title, background and business value. Make sure that that's true, but it'll give you a pretty good run. And then the main thing that's key is acceptance criteria. These given when then formats are amazing, where you can just say, given I'm a user with a basic license, I'm logged into the app and whatever. And we didn't give it any license information, so now I could go ahead and throw it a second bit of input and describe exactly what it is that the different levels should see. So that kind of prompting I find really valuable. It's great use of generative AI. As you saw, you end up with something a little bit like this, where the main key components are something easy you can talk about as a team, the description of why you're doing it, and acceptance criteria, absolute key, tells you when the story is done. So the result, perfect starting point. That sums it up well. This is really just the start of something that will continue to evolve as someone works on it. Nothing is ever 100% when you get the requirements down, but you certainly want to try and get as close as you can and squeeze out any ambiguity and provide a standard format. Standard formatting makes it easy for everybody within the chain of delivery to read it and understand it without a lot of cognitive overload. So I think it's a better way to build. Integrate it into your user story workflows. Give it a shot. Tell me what you think.